Welcome to episode 4. Wow, I can't believe, Mubarak, that we're already on episode 4.
Yes,
It's crazy.
yes. Time goes by fast indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So by the time that you listen to this specific episode, you should have had a few days in between when we release this one. If you're starting, the podcast with us right at the very beginning, um, because that's intentional, because we wanted you to have a little bit of a time to implement parts 1 and 2 of this particular training series, so that way when you come to this episode, that you're going to feel prepared and ready to basically plug in your numbers and really like dial in on what those daily activities are. And so a lot of entrepreneurs, the topic that we're going to talk about today, they tend to fear the S word. What is the S
Yes, they
word,
do.
Mubarak?
The cells, cells,
The
cells.
sales.
Yes.
Yes, sales. So, um, yet we know sales can solve a lot of business problems, right? Not just cash
hmm
flow, because once you
hmm
have cash flow, what other problems can you solve?
No, yeah, when you have cash flow, they say cash flow is the king, right?
Yeah.
Because then you can be able to grow your human resource to have more help to be able to do that. Not only that, you can scale your business to be able to serve more people and also reach more markets, right? So all those are problems that most business owners they're facing, right? So with more sales, you are able to address those big problems.
Plus, it also helps eliminate stress, right? Because when you have
Oh,
cash
that's a
flow,
big one.
yeah, when you have cash flow, it solves a lot. It just like gives you more peace of mind. So,
Mhm.
um, now that you've gone through parts 1 and 2 of this training series, you're ready to apply what you figured were your financial goals are aligned to your emotional and psychological needs or desires, right? And so, doing this part 3, and especially if you've gone through parts 1 and 2, it will really like bring it home for you. It's going to show you that big picture, um, and it will, how do you call this, give you just a clear idea of what you're going to do every single day, so that when you start your day, you already know these are the things that I'm going to focus on so I can move the needle in my business, right? So, again, this is episode 4, how to set financial goals are aligned with your vision for 2022. So, the slides for this episode are minimal, but still, you're going to be able to see the actual slides if you're watching this on YouTube, or download the slides as you're listening to this. It's really up to you. That's your preference. So, in today's episode, we're going to help you discover your needed daily sales activities that move the needle towards the goals that you've set. And then we're going to help you solve the activity problem. So, in the template sheet that you downloaded a couple of days ago or a few days ago, you should have a tab 3. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to that screen and show you how that works. So you've seen part 1, part 2. Hopefully, if you've downloaded already, so you should already have that all filled in. And so when you're on tab 3, there's going to be percentages and numbers at the top. So these percentages are your conversion rate at each stage of your funnel or um, pipeline, right? So it really doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same in every business, whether you have a sales pipeline or you have a funnel. It's funnel is just digital, right? So right here, you can input the conversion rate for each of your stages of your pipeline. So, for example, this one is the new prospects. So, this is the amount of people that you've reached. So, let's say you've done an organic outreach where you're doing the organic reach lead secrets way of building your business or your marketing organically. You, let's say in a month, right, that you've reached out, or maybe you've trained one of your team members to do this for you, and 100 people saw your message, right? Out of that 100 people, let's say half of them signed up and registered for whatever it is, whether it's a lead magnet or maybe a phone consultation or something like that, right? Very similar. Let's say 50% of those people said, hey, yes, I definitely want to connect with you. I love what you're doing. Let's at least get the process started, right? So then out of those new prospects, let's say 30% of them actually booked a call. So maybe they registered, 20 of them never made it to the registration process, but 30% did. So from here, right, so you go 30% of 50 is 15. So 15 people booked a call. And then from here, from the people that booked the call, 80% actually showed up to the call. So you have an 80% show up rate. And then out of the people that showed up to the call, you closed 90% of them, right? So then you have 11 clients at the end of that month. So this is how you want to look at that. And if you already have some kind of process in place, and maybe you have some kind of tracking in place, this would be a good time to actually put in real world numbers. Or you can just project, if these are my conversion rates, how many people do I need to reach out to here at the very beginning in order to reach my goal for the month, right? So that's how you can use this activity projection. So this is an example right here. And it's basically the same as the above, right? But when you look at this, let's say you have an ad running, just an example, right? Then 1,400 people saw the ad, right? And only 17% of them became a member. Let's say you're, how do you call this? You're promoting your Facebook group, for example, or maybe a free membership thing to whatever system that you use, and they signed up for that, right? And then out of the 238 group members or group membership area registrations, 37% of them, or 88 people, booked a call to go further with you. And then out of the people that booked the call, 77 or 88% showed up, or 77 people showed up. And then out of the 77 people that you spoke or your team member spoke with, 22% purchased, right? So you end up with 17. So I love this example and the two kind of very different examples where you started with 100 and you started with 1,400 on this second one, because it shows you that if you just improve these numbers in the green, that means that you will need to have less people. You can reach less people and still be able to get great results, right? You don't need to be running an ad in order to reach a goal of 11, right? 11 sales at the end of the month, right? So you can kind of play around with this and see how that feels, how it fits to your part 2 right here on this tab, and how it's going to meet these specific goals that you have for specific products and services you have on part 2, right? So that's one way that you can do that. And then another thing that I love about this is that you can troubleshoot each stage of this funnel or this pipeline and improve, right? So let's say if you do have some numbers already, like some real world numbers, you can plug them in here and see where you're starting out. This is your baseline. If you haven't been tracking, then you know that you have a baseline. This is your starting point. And then if there are numbers that you wish to increase at each stage, then either if you're doing the sales, if you do that kind of sales, or if a team member does the sales, then what can you do then to improve the process at each stage, right? So let's say if you are like solid on your sales and you're like, once they show up, I can sell them, right?
Mm.
Then you don't really need to worry about that. But where you can make a big difference is maybe right here where it's 30%, right? The news, how can you um, have your new prospects book more calls? How can you increase this 30% number to a higher number, right? So, Mubarak, you have any comments, insights on that?
Not really. It's just straightforward. And I love that now you're showing them exactly how now they take the real goals that they have and act on them, right? You know, it's very, very good. I would love to hear people's comments because to me, the first time we share this with other coaching clients, the aha moment they got, and everybody saying, yes, now this makes my goals attainable because
Yeah,
I know what I need to do every single day to be able to get there. So, yes, that's my comment. And I would love to
yeah,
see more people downloading this and go to work with it, right? Because it really works. This is what we use ourselves to reach the goals that we set out to do.
for
Yeah.
sure. Otherwise, we won't be training on it, right?
No, you won't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, so from this you can set your activity goals, right? Each day, like
Mhm.
how many people do you want to reach out to? And then the other aspect of that is what activities or what stages of my pipeline can I improve to ultimately improve my numbers, right?
Yeah.
With my background of being in the fitness industry, right? I always tell my clients like you can't improve what you don't assess, right? So like if you don't know where you are, how do you know how you're going to improve it, right? So if you're
Mhm.
not assessing, you're just guessing. That's what I always
Yes.
say. Yeah.
Yes.
So let me exit full screen here and then go back to the slide real quick. And I think we're almost done with this one. So with just in tab 3, you can do the worksheet together, well, on your own, I would say. And then, like Mubarak said, just report back to us. And then let us know what you find, what ahas you've gotten
Mhm.
just from this exercise. This is why we were so adamant that you do parts 1 and 2, because if you don't do parts 1 and 2, then part 3 doesn't really make sense, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. It doesn't.
So we'll end this with this quote: don't set business goals and then try to fit your life around those goals. Instead, set lifestyle goals and then create a business that supports that lifestyle, right? That's ultimately,
Definitely.
yeah, what we help you do in these last 3 episodes. So
Mhm.
that is really what we have for episode 3. It's much easier, I think, than parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, episode 4, much easier than episodes 2 and 3. So again, we want to encourage you to watch the full episode with visuals on YouTube if you'd like, or if you'd rather, definitely just download the slides while you maybe re-listen to this as you're going through the worksheet.
Yeah.
And the link should be in the show notes to download that.
Yeah.
So any other last minute, last comments?
No, I really want them to just go and take action on that and then report back because that's our goal. That's the purpose of this podcast is giving you actionable uh, content, not just to listen and you enjoy how we listen. No, we want you to get benefit from them. So thank you.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up because um, I think that people, we always say people need to be reminded more than taught, right?
Mhm.
And when we take action on a content that we heard and we
Mhm.
actually do the stuff, we
Mhm.
gain the experience from it. And
Mhm.
also we learn it at a deeper level. That's how we ultimately gain wisdom, right? That's one thing we talk about in Alpha Academy most of the time. So anyway, this has been Organic Reach X.
We show you how to go with flow organically in your business.
Until next time, see you then.
Bye.